You remember those fig branches that I snipped from the tree in the back last week and brought into the house? They looked beautiful, but I have to be completely honest with you. When the leaves were fresh like that, they didn't smell very good. In fact, Brennan agreed with me. We kind of smelled cat pee. I eventually took the branches outside when the leaves started drying up and shriveling. But what I found was, at that point, the branches smelled exactly like what I wanted. That beautiful, creamy, velvety, luscious, sweet fig smell. In fact, this morning, after I took the pugs for a walk in the park, when I came back home, the entire porch was saturated with that luscious fig smell. It was incredible. So I'm gonna keep that bouquet right outside the front door for as long as I can, as long as that beautiful smell is there. And then when I walked into the house, I was hit with the smell of coffee because Brennan just brewed a pot while I was at the park. We're drinking coffee again. And I looked around and saw this beautiful constellation of light reflections all over the room. The sun was coming in through the window at a very specific angle at that moment and hit the disco ball on the floor. And the result were these beautiful stars everywhere. It was magical. And I love to think that it was only for a few minutes, like witnessing an eclipse or something. If I had slept a few minutes later, I might have missed the entire thing. This probably happens every morning, and I usually miss it, but not this morning. Guess what? This is the 24th episode of this vlog. Time really flew. So for me, 24 marks the 6-month mark from when I began this YouTube channel. And I've said this in the past, but I'll say it again. It's been one of the most rewarding things I've ever done. Some of my friends had been telling me for a while that I should do these longer format videos because I already do the short videos on Instagram and TikTok. And I wanted to, but I finally had the motivation earlier this year to do so. And I love having this vlog as a place where I can have ideas and share them and record my life. I feel like I see so much more of my life because I'm recording it now. It's also a nice place where I can put my music that I've already created. That's been fun. But most importantly, what I love about doing this vlog is this community that has somehow come to be. When I read your comments, I find them so gratifying and so insightful, and you have no idea how grateful I am for that. And I think mostly because of that, I will happily continue making these videos. Now, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, I'm asking you now to do so. I don't know the technicalities of YouTube and how it all works and how the algorithms work, but all I know is that the people I watch on YouTube all go on and on regularly about hitting that subscribe button and liking and getting notifications. So I know it's important. I know it's important to the channel and for it to grow. So I'm asking you, if you haven't already subscribed and you enjoyed the videos, then please do so. This is what I'd like to do. A few videos ago when I talked about John Keats and the poem Ode on a Grecian Urn, I asked you watching to please share with me a moment of beauty that you witnessed recently. And I couldn't believe what I read. These moments were so spectacular, and I thoroughly enjoyed reading them, but I also saw that you did too. So many people were looking at and commenting on other people's comments, and that's so cool. I'm going to ask you to do that again. If you don't mind, please sharing a moment of perfect beauty that you've witnessed, that you've lived through recently. I can't wait to read these. And like last time, I'm going to pick one at random. I'm literally going to write down the name of everyone who comments, put these names in a hat, and select one on the Friday after the Saturday that I air this video. And the name that I select, I'd like to send this. This is a bottle of Radical Rose. It's from Matière Première. One of the perks of my day job is I get to meet incredible people involved in the perfume world. And I got to meet Aurélien Guichard, who is a perfumer and also the founder of this brand Matière Première, which, by the way, in French means raw materials. What I love about his brand and his approach to perfume is he actually grows a lot of the flowers that he uses in his perfume. He has land in the south of France and grows jasmine, I believe, definitely tuberose, roses, and in fact, the Centifolia rose used in Radical Rose comes from the roses that he grew himself. I love that he's involved in all of the different various stages of making a perfume. That's really very special. And this, in particular, is my favorite from the collection. This and Parisian musk, of course. It's not your simple garden rose. In fact, I told Aurélien that, and he said, have you ever smelled Centifolia rose? It has a very specific, full-bodied smell. And I never have, so I'm basing this entirely on what he told me, but I certainly trust him. But I think also what takes this rose out of the garden and brings it into somewhere more romantic and mysterious, I'd even say, is the addition of labdanum, which gives it that nice, luscious amber heart. And the spices. There's saffron and black pepper, and of course, a beautiful patchouli in the base. You know, for me, rose with patchouli is one of the most spectacular combinations, which is probably one of the reasons why I love this perfume so much. And unlike the other rose perfumes that I have in my collection, which tend to be more that dewy garden style, this is darker and much more tenacious. It lasts so long on me. So this is kind of a going out fragrance, a special occasion smell. And I would love to share this with somebody. I can't wait till Friday. I'm going to select a name. Hopefully you're subscribed. And we'll figure out a way for me to find your address. Maybe you can DM me through Instagram. And I hope you enjoy this bottle. Speaking of roses, yesterday Brennan and I went to the LA flower market, saw some really special things. There's one stall in particular, they're called Gather Flora, and we always find amazing things with them. They grow and source their flowers organically. And because of that, it seems less commercial. They don't have those big bundles of roses that are boxed up in cardboard. Everything is much more natural feeling. And this time around, they had so many David Austin roses. Now, you know I grow David Austin roses in my garden, and I had an amazing crop this year, but it's over. And so now all of the plants are just green with leaves, no roses. So when I saw all these bouquets at Gather Flora, I had to get one. The scent is so beautiful, fruity, a little lemony. I had a conversation with the man at Gather Flora. I think he's one of the owners. And I talked about how I grow David Austin roses. And he's like, oh, okay, so you know what this is. I really did. Beautiful. And next to the roses, he had a bucket full of raspberry stems. And I picked some up because I just loved the idea of garden roses going with raspberry. So at home, I filled this silver champagne bucket with the David Austin roses, with these beautiful red raspberries peeking through like jewels. And I also picked up these frizzy tulips to kind of just add a little bit of contrast, but also match the roses. I think this combination, especially in this vessel, is just beautiful. With a few extra stems, Brendan put them in the tulip vase. And then in the tall chinoiserie vase, we filled it with some banksia and allium. These allium are so special. The stalks are so long, a little curly, and the texture of the stalks look almost like they're made of metal. I have to admit, we did steal this idea from the Dries Van Noten boutique because they had these exact plants together in their main floral display. Perfection. To carry on with the rose theme, we decided to head up to Descanso Gardens in La Cañada. The last time we were there, it was for lilac season, and the roses were still pretty shy. So we thought probably in a month or two, they'll be at full bloom. And they were. It was wonderful to see and to smell. But of course, the first thing we did when we got to Descanso was go directly to the gift shop. I love a museum gift shop. I always find cool things there. They had these interesting books about aromatherapy, something I'd love to learn more about. And this one guide to fragrant plants. I love the idea of an aromatic garden. I think I always have. When I was a teenager, my mom and I used to drive out to Swarthmore College campus. It wasn't so far from where we lived. And just take walks because the whole campus is an arboretum. And I loved observing the different trees and flowers and shrubs. Isn't this such a badass thing for a young teenage boy to be doing with his mom? And I remember in one courtyard, there was a perfume garden, and that was my favorite spot. All these different herbs and trees known specifically for their intense fragrance. And of course, that memory is indelibly imprinted in my brain. I'm always looking out for this perfume garden. And these kinds of books bring me back to that place. But I didn't buy either of them because, let's face it, in my library now, I have at least 3 books that do exactly that. And then I found this magical little triangle. It's kind of a sound effect machine. And it made the sounds of birds and insects, maybe some frogs by a lake. I found it so relaxing. I could definitely imagine having it around in the living room while music is playing on top of it. It would just set the most perfect atmosphere. But the price was too much. It was at least double what I thought it should be. So I didn't buy this magical triangle of birdsong. And then we went to lunch. I'm still thinking about that cricket, frog, lake sounds box over at the gift shop. I'm not going to buy it because it's too expensive for what it is, and I can play those kind of sound effects on my phone while I listen to music. I don't know why I just don't do that, but I'm still thinking about it. We're getting lunch now. This restaurant's called Farmhouse, and I think it's new. It's here at Descanso Gardens, and it's beautiful, just really open and airy, and not quite as loud as Swingers last week, even though that was very fun. We both ordered burgers, so let's see how they turn out. I love this table with the live edge. It's beautiful. And the terrace of this restaurant is so pretty. I think next time we come, we'll sit out on the terrace. But this is what I'm excited about. This is some burger, huh? Wine selection looks nice too. Definitely want to come back here for dinner sometime. I thought we should talk about my shoes for a second. Brennan and I recently got some Bass Weegians. He got the kind with the tassels and I got the kind with the bit. And I love wearing them. They're great. I was wearing them the other day, and my friend Susanna said that I was giving High School Music teacher vibes, and I liked that. I felt like every time I looked down, I was a different person, a man who drives an Oldsmobile and smokes Benson and Hedges cigarettes. So today I thought I wanted to wear them because I'm really feeling them right now, although it's probably not the best choice to be walking around a big gardens with them. Whatever, I can always dust them off later. Have you ever seen lilies this tall? I haven't. Okay, this is Marshall's. I'm just gonna see if they have any clothes that are High School Music teacher appropriate. And also, you know I love to see what kind of fragrances they have. Wow, I'm actually shocked by this. They have Thomas Kuzmala Après l'amour here. If you know this fragrance, you would know why I'm so shocked to see this here. I wonder what the price is. H24, that's a great option too. Remember in last week's video I was talking about how I need shampoo? Obviously no finesse. My other favorite shampoo for its smell is Shampure from Aveda, but they don't seem to have any Aveda. But let's check out this Paul Mitchell. I remember back in the 90s I liked that Awapui shampoo. I wonder if it smells nice.
Can I give you a big kiss?
Brendan wants to give me a big kiss. This is a new coffee shop. It says Cleaners on it, so I'm guessing it used to be a Cleaners. But I love this beautiful native planting outside. This type of herbal tea is called Meadow, and it's spearmint and fennel. I'm so excited to try this. I had a little bit of sweetener added to it as well. It tastes like mint tea. It's good. I like the way these shoes look against the linoleum here. It just looks right. After the coffee shop, we had one more place to visit in La Cañada, actually Montrose, technically. We went to the Lost Bookstore, and I looked at the albums, because last time I found some treasures. I did again this time. Like this, Gilbert O'Sullivan. I only know one song from him, and it's because of that song I got this record. You know it. Alone again, naturally. That's him. Also, I love his outfit on this record. Come on. Can you imagine him wearing the music teacher shoes with this? It's perfect. I also found this recording of Rostropovich playing Schumann cello concerto with the Orchestre National de France conducted by Leonard Bernstein. What a dream team. It was a nice day. I came home, listened to the music for a bit, and then walked the pugs around the block and checked out what was in bloom in the neighborhood, like this passiflora and plumeria. Again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for a great 6 months. And I can't wait to read your comments about perfect moments of beauty. I'll see you next time.